Hi, and welcome to my tutorial on how to build a college list, how to do a search. My name is Cyndy McDonald. I'm a college counselor. I've been working with students for over 30 years, and I teach for UCLA and I teach other counselors, students, and parents how to go through the college and career planning process. So this tutorial is about doing a college search. We're going to use a free tool that's actually provided by the federal government so that you can see some of the principles, but you can use this method that I'm showing you on any college search tool or website. Big Future, Score, Maya, Naviance, any of those. You can use these same principles. The first thing is you want to start large and then narrow down your search. If you put everything in that you want in a college in the very beginning, you're most likely going to end up with zero on your list. So we're going to start broad and we're going to narrow it down. So this is you can see the URL here in my bar, my navigation bar. It's called College Navigator. If you do a Google search, you'll find it. It's through the National Center for Education Statistics. This is the page you come up and you can see it has a little bit of information. So we're going to start. I'm not going to pick any college, any states to choose from. You can actually browse by programs and majors. I'm going to say I'm looking for a college that has a bachelor's degree, and I want it to either be a public school or a private nonprofit. I don't really want to look at for-profit schools yet. And I'm just looking for four-year universities. This is nice that it has community colleges and it has the for-profit. But for right now, for my search as a student who's looking to go away to college, these are the things I'm going to want. So I click on search. Now, when you do a search, you can have too broad of a search. You can see by just putting those parameters in, I have more than 500 institutions. It's like, it gives me everything. So I do need to go back and narrow this a little bit. So we're going to go back and look at the map. And this is really nice because you can select region. So I'm going to say, okay, I want to look at the West Coast. I live in California, so I want to look at schools on the West Coast, but I'm really interested in the Mideast. Heard a lot about schools in New York, Pennsylvania, so I think I'd like to look at schools in those areas. Now, there are other things that I'm interested in, and here on this website, it has more search, so I can look at undergraduate, student enrollment. Okay, I don't want to go to a small school, but I want to go to a bit bigger school. So I want to start with 10,000, but I don't want it to be super large either. So I'm going to limit it 10 to 20,000. I definitely want to live on campus. And so I'm going to limit it to that. I don't want to be in the country. I want to live in the town. I want to actually live in suburban or the city. And let's see what that does. So now I've narrowed my choices down, and you can see now just from those factors, I've narrowed my choice from over 500 schools down to 39. So this is an easy way that you can create and look at colleges that offer things you're interested in. But let's go back and refine the list a little bit. Let's look for colleges that have majors or things of interest to us. And this is a really great resource and tool that many college searches have. So we're going to look at only find schools that offer all these selections. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Say I want to be an engineer. So I'm going to do engineer. And you can see it actually pulls up all the categories. So here's engineering related technologies, technicians, and then you can actually see what the specific ones. So let's do aerospace. Let's do astronaut. Maybe I'm not sure what kind of engineering I'm going to do. Let's do biochemical. Maybe I might want to study biology or bioengineering. And those, you can see there's just a lot of other different kinds of, let's do engineering general. Let's see what else there is. And that should, maybe I want to do pre-engineering. So let's see what that does. And I'm actually going to change the undergraduate, and I'm not going to put a limit on there, because if I put too many factors in there, I'm going to end up with nothing. So now I've done it by engineering, and we've just picked from our different region. Now I have 153 colleges that I can look at. So using the search tool will really give you, start broad and go down, and you'll be able to narrow your list. And then from here, let's go into one of the great things about this website is it has the test scores, and it has, religious, specialized mission, is it a historically black college? Is it a single sex, men or women, tribal college, things like that. Now, this does have information on tuition and fees, but it doesn't really, it will allow me to search by tuition and fees based on the state I live in. So that can be very helpful. But let's look at this. These are all schools that offer engineering or aeronautic, things like that. They're in those regions that I was interested in. Then you can actually create favorites. So let's look at Cal Institute. So we're going to add that to our favorites. We're going to add Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo in California. Let's go to the next page. These are all going to be the California schools. Let's look at Carnegie Mellon and Pittsburgh. And let's see, let's look at Kane. Let's look at Fordham. You can see I'm adding these to a comparison. Look at Harvey Mudd. And let's look at Goucher. So what you're able to do is, once you have these colleges added to favorites, you can look at the favorites. Here are my 7 favorites. I can say compare. I'm going to check all of them. And then if we do compare, you may only, okay. So we're going to go through here. Let's do, let's take out this one and this one. And this one. Now let's see. And then if we do those 4, so here shows the 4 colleges, and I can look at the expenses. I can look at the financial aid. This is a very helpful thing to look at because it gives you a lot of financial aid information. It tells you percent of students receiving financial aid, the total grants, the amount, federal, Pell, state, institutional. Do the colleges offer institutional? Student loans, there's just a lot of information. Net price is here, and it'll actually give you an estimate, gives you something about enrollment, tells you something about admissions, the percent admitted who enrolled. So a lot of information, SAT, ACT, retention and graduation, and then outcome measures. So there's a lot of information on this website that you can use and research. And then you can actually export it, and then you create a spreadsheet that you can then look at to be able to compare. So we're going to, let's see. So we've hit the export. Yes. Okay, so this is show now, it's open, and here is all the comparisons. That is what the College Navigator offers in terms of college search. It's very thorough, it's very comprehensible. Start high and then narrow it down and use it to inform, educate, and enlighten you as you're looking for colleges. So look for the next tutorial, and I'm very glad to have been able to share this with you today.